Welcome into the Delco Duo right here on PHL 17. I'm one half of the Delco Duo, Monica Cryan.
And I am Jenna Meisner. It is Saturday night. Hopefully you've been up to some fun stuff this weekend.
Because there's so much going on.
So much going on. I mean, I don't know if people here are as concerned with the coronation. I know for you, this is like the biggest weekend of your life as we're talking about the royals and, you know, everything happening in the UK.
I was really into the weddings. And so the coronation's different. It's similar. There's, a lot of similarities, like the processions and the waving and whatnot.
Formalities of it all.
But I'm very excited to see, in our time, the first coronation.
It is cool. It's historical. We'll probably see two, maybe, but I don't know. Everyone's thinking it. Come on.
Well, I hope we see two.
Right.
I hope I outlive King Charles III.
I don't know. I mean, He's rocking it.
And the Queen went forever. So and then Kentucky Derby,
Cinco de Mayo passed.
And then there was something else. Kentucky Derby coronation, like Phillies and I guess Sixers. That's
all right. Let's get right to our debrief. We've got a jam-packed show tonight.
We do have a fun show. And it leads off with my accomplishments.
Oh, okay. Let's hear Monica.
So I did, last week we had talked about, I was training for the Broad Street. I did the Broad Street.
That we'd give an update.
Yes.
Oh, these are the pictures you put in. I wanted like the official race photos.
I know. I have to pay for that.
Oh, okay. So you didn't want to do any copyright infringement and get us arrested or get our show in trouble.
Because I haven't paid for it yet and I have to pay for it. They take official pictures. So this is my brother and sister. That's on is that your right-hand side? And then there's sweaty, wet mess me.
That photo of you, the selfie, it cracks me up. I saw this on our morning show. Where is everybody? Why does it look desolate?
Because I was so fast.
Because you were so far behind.
Stop. I was so fast. I was right up there with the winner. No, I don't. So I took it kind of, when you run the Broad Street, most of it's open, but then sometimes there's a median, and I was on the median when I took this picture. And
by City Hall.
Yeah, and what was so interesting is, there was so much fog that day that you couldn't see the top of the city.
Terrible morning. I was watching videos and pictures and stuff on social media, and I just felt for all of you guys because it was nasty.
The one thing I did like about it did get a little inspirational. I would have preferred for it not to be raining. But
how was it inspiring?
You're just getting wet and you're just like, you feel like you're in a movie and you're just like, oh.
I would love to talk to the thousands of other people who participated to see if they also felt that they were inspired by terrible weather.
And then it keeps you cool. When you're running, it keeps you cool. The problem is...
You have wet socks?
I had wet socks. Oh. I must have been carrying, I would say, an extra 2 pounds just with how soaked everything got.
And you were cold to your core.
So during the run, it was great because it keeps you cool. Mm-hmm. The problem is the second you stop running, you're frozen. Your body's just broken down and then you're I was so cold at Xfinity because I went to Xfinity for the after party.
Yeah. I remember I texted you and I said, just have a drink. It'll help. But
the problem is holding that cold beer.
So you're happy with how it went and you're happy with how you finished and your time. I mean, I know you didn't care about your time, but
I feel like that race would be fun in a monsoon. It's just such a fun race. Everybody came out, a lot
of Philly pride.
Yeah, it's awesome. So if you are feeling a bit motivated and you feel like you can maybe train and you devote the time. Yeah, I would recommend that race. It's so fun.
It's also hard to get in though. You got to get in the lottery. You got to But I feel as though most people do get where they want to be when it comes to the Broad Street Run.
Right.
People the day before giving up their bibs because they're something
like
the weather would make me give up my bib.
Right?
I'd never run it though. Okay, let's get to the first issue of the night. This is Chris from Chad's Ford.
It says, my sister was mad that I refused to eat the remains of her son's smash cake at his first birthday party. To my surprise, other family members were eating it.
That's gross.
That is so weird. The point of a smash cake is that it's just for the baby.
Yes, jinx. So a little bit background here from Chris from Chad's Ford. So he was expecting just, the smaller smash cake. If you're not familiar with what a smash cake is, it's basically the first birthday party, little size cake that the baby can go at it and get it all over their face.
They go nuts.
It's for pictures. It's cute.
Right.
And Chris
You
says
have
that
and at the parties, usually you have other
dessert.
things to serve to the people that came to the party. No one wants to touch that smash cake. It's got boogers, it's got slobber, it's got hands all in it.
Well, Chris says that his sister brought out like a normal sized round cake that you would cut for maybe like a kid's a little bit older, their birthday party, or even an adult's birthday party. And then whatever the kid did not smash, the sister was cutting for the other guests to eat.
That's so weird.
And other guests were eating it. Other family members were eating it.
Oh, that's so...
I feel like your parents...
My dad would like make a point and be like, oh, it doesn't bother me.
Right.
But for the baby's first birthday, there's a picture where he's holding out his hand to me. Like, you know how babies love to share. He's like, Mommy, look, I like have a kid. And I just go, and I pretend because I'm like, I'm not eating my own son's smash cake.
Yeah, that's
so gross.
That's really nasty. And normally I kind of go back and forth about what side of issues I take, but I'm totally on Chris's side in this. I love my nieces and nephews, but I would never eat their smash cake.
No. And I actually... It's not even the smash cake. Nowadays, it's germs when people blow out candles. You can't even be blowing out candles on cakes.
And we discovered
anymore.
that during COVID. I feel because we had a lot of birthdays during COVID. And what my mom would do, she would light like a Yankee candle or like a normal candle. And then the birthday person would just blow out that one flame. Because we were like, oh, it's COVID. Like, you can't put candles on the cake. And then everyone started thinking about all these things that we do. And candles on a birthday cake are pretty disgusting.
Especially with kids, when when I blow something out, especially a candle on a cake, it's a like that.
Real quick.
I'm still spitting a little bit.
Really think about not spitting.
Kids go, oh my gosh, it's so gross.
And I hate when my sisters are like, oh, help her blow her candles out. I'm like,
no,
do not help me. I do not want your disgusting help.
Now we've got 5 people putting their germs on this cake. I think that's why a smash cake is so important, because not only do they smash it, but then they're blowing their candle out on it. And then the cake that is served to guests should be untouched, really. Should not be blown.
Or get cupcakes. Like if you don't want to get another cake, get cupcakes, chocolate-covered pretzels, just something small that you don't have to, really break the bank for. But the sister being mad for me is confusing. Why are you mad? Don't be mad.
Nobody wants that in their
Be
life.
understanding.
Although I'm not necessarily sure I agree with the Yankee candle. The candle must be in a dessert.
Hey.
Must be in a dessert.
28. I did that for my 28th birthday, and that was a good year. So this year I blew out.
Is that when you got engaged or married?
No, I got married at 27. So this was. Wait, when did I blow out the Yankee candle? When was COVID? All the years are like I don't know what is
that's
going
true.
on.
Okay. I don't know.
It might have been 27.
I don't remember anything.
Still a good year. All right, coming up next, we have another issue of the night.
Destination wedding.
Oh.
This is a bit controversial, so stay with us. And welcome back to the Delco Duo. We take some of your issues that you send to us, and then we give you advice on how we would handle it.
Totally anonymous. That is the key here. We will never reveal your identity, although sometimes we will reveal the identity of our own issues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Such as our family. But
and that's coming up in
We'll get to that. Yeah. So let's get to our second issue of the night. Wendy from Woodland.
Oof. I sold a family heirloom to pay for my destination wedding.
Why,
to pay for my destination wedding? Or to go to a destination wedding?
I think it's her own wedding. Would you rather her used our destination wedding versus my?
Yeah.
Why is that bother you?
Yours. You've got other people.
You and your fiance's wedding.
Destination weddings, and I'm not very familiar. I've never been invited to one. Are they less expensive for the couple that's getting married? Because isn't a lot of that included? You're not paying per head, right?
I don't know how planning works. I actually I've been to one destination wedding, and I am going to another destination wedding this coming fall, and It is so expensive
for you to be a guest.
For you to be a guest. To be a guest at a destination wedding is just it's too much. It's really too much.
Although regular weddings now are getting up there too, because most weddings you're staying at a hotel. It could be like down the street and you still are getting that hotel for the night or two.
Yeah. So the one that we have coming up in the fall is in a resort in Bermuda. So not only was that very expensive, I just peeked at the flights recently just to look ahead, just to see what, and flying anywhere nowadays is so expensive. I think one ticket was $676 for.
Oh my God.
I know. Okay. That's how we're going to have to check back because nearly $700 for one ticket.
For one ticket?
Yes.
And you've got two people going. Plus you got to do the basically room and board.
Yes.
The hotel.
It's nuts. It's crazy. And I understand, it's your wedding day. You can get married wherever the heck you want. But there comes a point where you kind of have to think of the people that you're inviting.
Yes. And I do think a lot of times destination weddings have an expectations that their guest list is going to be smaller than a regular wedding. You can't.
Well, that's the issue because my husband's in the wedding, so he's a groomsman, so we have to go.
And then at that point, do you give a gift?
That's what I mean. I'm like,
so
expensive. My gosh, I'm already over $1,000 between flying and staying and.
But I thought that's why
I'm your gift. My presence is your present.
But back in the day, I do think people were doing destination weddings as
like elopement. It was almost like a cheaper,
right, like a cost-cutting measure. I don't know if it's the same nowadays, or if you still. I
mean, the bride and groom still have to pay for their flight. They still have to pay for their stay.
But then they rope it into their honeymoon. Like a lot of these destination weddings, they're there, and then that's their honeymoon.
And look, if I'm going to a destination wedding, I'm happy that I'm going to Bermuda and I'm not going to Arkansas or you know what I mean, somewhere. Nothing against Arkansas, but. I'm just happy that I'm not going somewhere that's
Don't ever invite Jenna to a wedding in Arkansas.
I don't think we have any viewers right now that are from Arkansas, but if we do, I'm so sorry. But I want to go somewhere tropical. I want to go somewhere that's like a vacation, not
Well, yeah, I don't necessarily count anything within the United States a destination. Even if you're inviting
Florida,
me.
when I was counting in Florida, I counted that as destination.
No.
Why?
Oh, it's
the beaches?
No, it's got to be out of.
Captiva? I feel like Captiva's a vacation-y spot.
No, that's just a wedding in the States. I went to a wedding in California. I did not count that as destination.
See, I would call that a destination wedding.
But the people lived in California.
So I guess the question would be, would my wedding be destination? Because half our guests came from New Hampshire.
No.
I had a destination wedding.
I
had a destination wedding.
Your wedding at the Crystal Tea Room. That is not a destination.
It was half destination.
It was beautiful, but no, that's what I'm saying is just because people to travel to your wedding doesn't make it a destination.
Okay, that's an interesting take.
And we went to a wedding in Lake Tahoe. It was awesome. It was beautiful. It was so cool because it did feel kind of resorty. But I did not count that as a destination. I paid.
Wow. So this is now making sense why you're saying you've never been invited to one, because your description of a destination wedding is very specific. You need to be in Tulum or somewhere for it to be a destination.
I need to use a passport. That's it.
If you're watching, please tell us what your definition is of a destination wedding, because I think anywhere that's not where you live is a destination. Or not within a drive. You have to fly there. If you have to fly there, it's a destination wedding.
Then a lot of weddings are destination weddings, because think about it.
Well, my whole life's in Delco, so
my God.
Not much is a destination wedding.
Would you count a wedding in Annapolis a destination wedding?
Where my best friend got married?
Yeah.
Annapolis is a drive, so no.
Oh my God.
Wait, we didn't even get to the issue yet, and we almost have to be done. So she sold the heirloom to pay for her wedding. That's straight up wrong. If I'm your sibling, I'm mad at you. What was the heirloom?
Right. Was it a necklace or something?
She doesn't say. So we don't know what the heirloom is, but do you have any family heirlooms? No. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have a family heirloom to sell.
You know what, though? My parents and their shore house. I'm waiting when they kick the bucket, man. Give me that shore house.
This is going to be played when Monica's parents go mysteriously missing. They're going to play this back and be like, oh, okay, Monica's the first suspect that we actually have to look at because she's in the shore house now.
All of a sudden, my parents are gone and I'm in that shore house.
Oh, I mean, there's definitely jewelry that, I got my eyes on, but
right?
But not nothing yet, you know what I mean?
Every kid looks at something, I can't wait to get my hands on that. But I love my parents, and I depend on them so much more than any heirloom could ever get. I love them so much, and I depend on them for so much that there's no heirloom worth it.
If you want to have a destination wedding, you got to be able to pay for it yourself, because your guests are also going to be paying a lot. So don't go selling family heirlooms for your wedding.
All right. Our own topic comes up next. PPA, man. PPA.
That's it. We'll just leave it at that.
Stay with us. And we're back with the Delco Duo. So we had 2 issues. Yes. Apparently got weird when I talked about my
the guys in the control room are concerned about Monica's parents and their well-being. So Gigi and Lee, if you're watching,
you're fine.
Watch your back.
You're fine.
Okay. All right. You've got an issue this week, so let's roll it. What's Monica crying about? What's going on?
Most of the time we talk about what's Monica crying about, and I'm like, oh, I just got mad. No, this time I was crying.
You did cry?
I did cry.
Oh, so it's literal this week.
Yeah, and I guess that's my issue is, so a little bit of backstory is the PPA got me. Philadelphia Parking Authority. You could be Delco, you could be Monco, you can be Bucks, you can be Burlington County.
I think every person watching here has been got by the
You
PPA.
think by the PPA?
Yes.
So, and I get it.
Was it your fault?
It was my fault. So I guess
that's the first question you have to ask yourself.
And I think when I wanted to bring this up is I parked my car. It said 2-hour parking on the sign. It said 2-hour parking, and I didn't look as to where the arrow was pointing. So the arrow, here's my car, and then here's the pole, and it says 2-hour parking, and then the arrow's pointed this way,
so
meaning
where you were was completely clear. There was no cars there.
There were news vans. So there were news vans, because a lot of times news vans park wherever they want to, and then they'll kind of set up. They get a little bit of a pass. So there was a news van parked there, and I parked behind the news van.
You are not in a PHL 17
No, I am not.
vehicle. Monica is in her personal car.
And I'm not saying I thought like, oh, I park wherever I want. I saw 2-hour parking, and I didn't look as to where the arrow was pointing, and the arrow was pointing this way. Yeah. So
I think it would have been easier for you if there was no cars there. I was thinking that it was just clear. And
that's what I was like.
Okay,
wait.
Monica, well, let's think about this here.
No, I parked in a zone. I paid for parking. You know how you can sign onto the app? I put in my zone number. I was like, smooth sailing.
And it didn't say like you are out of range. I
was in a zone.
Oh.
The problem is the arrow was pointing this way.
They need to fine tune that though to give you a notification that you're technically not in the zone.
That's what I think. I mean, we've got all this technology, and you can't say, hey, you're not parked in a legal spot. I would have moved immediately. I would never park illegally. That is not me, so but anyway, I parked illegally by accident.
No one's saying that you're an illegal parker. Relax.
No, because some people will be like, oh, you think you can just get away. I did not think I was getting away with anything. I didn't think I was wrong. I run in somewhere, and I was back, and I'm in this place, I would say, for maybe 15 minutes. And Amanda, the anchor, comes up to us and says, I think your car is getting towed. So I run back out. The car's already gone. So they
had to be waiting. They watched you pay on your phone.
Do you know how long it takes to load a car onto the back of a tow truck?
It takes
a while.
15 minutes.
It
takes about 15 minutes.
How they did this so fast. I was not even in there that long.
They watched you park. They watched
That's how I feel.
Pay on your phone. And then they watched you go in, and they got to work.
Oh my gosh.
That's messed up.
I'm running out. Then you gotta go find which impound lot.
That's the worst. That's the worst part of it, finding the car.
Yeah, finding.
It's like when I've had my car moved before when construction's been set up and they just move cars all over the city.
Yes.
I didn't even know that you were able to do that. But
did you have to pay for?
Sometimes it depends if there's signs. If there's signs that say you can't park here, then yes. But if it's just something that they just started to do, then normally not.
That's really frustrating because it takes so much time to get your car back.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't wrong, still to get your car back is a lot. So then I'm in the middle of the city. I finally figure out where my car is, which impound lot, and I get to the impound lot. And I guess my issue is you can try and keep yourself in the best of moods. Like I know these PPA workers, it's not their fault that I parked illegally. That was my fault. It's not their fault, but how can you keep a smiling face on? Everybody at the PPA was so mad. You know what I mean? They're in the worst of moods.
It is. The DMV is very similar to that, and
and I'm trying my hardest to be nice to the people
all day.
Yes.
They get yelled at all day, so I'm sure they're tired of it.
So then I walk in and I'm like, okay, I am going to hold myself together. I'm a responsible adult. I can handle this. And I immediately, then they're like, we need this. So then they had to drive me to the car to get my information. Then they drag me back because, the impound lot's huge. And then I go and I give them, and, not my insurance had not expired, but my ID card had expired. So then I'm trying to call my insurance to get the card sent to me that's updated. And finally, 2 hours later, I'm in tears. I was like, please just let me out.
2 hours?
2 hours.
So 15 minutes, what did it cost you at the all said
right
done?
So and what's so interesting is there are some people there that are paying off tickets. So on top of being towed, they're paying off like their 10. This one guy had 10 tickets.
Yeah. Well, most people just ignore it until they either get the boot or they get
their
car gets impounded.
I'm trying to keep my composure, but there are so many other people that are mad, and now I'm getting upset. I'm like, I just want my car. I just want to get out of here.
Right.
I only paid for towing. I only paid for the towing because and the ticket to park illegally, and I didn't have any other tickets. But some of these guys were walking out.
And it was over $100.
So it was $250, I think, for the ticket and the tow. Gosh. It was $250, and I was like,
15-minute mistake.
A little mistake again. I thought, but
and it's also hilarious that your coworkers want to be like, "Hey, your car's getting towed."
And I was like, "What?" I guess my thing is why couldn't they? I understand illegal parking. Couldn't they just ticket me on the illegal parking?
Nope, they want you out of there. They should have towed the news vans too, though. Hey, we work for the news, and I'm saying that.
I'm not gonna say which news station it was.
Oh gosh! All right. Well, sorry, Monica. Hopefully, you've learned your lesson to look at the arrows. I'm sure a lot of people have horror stories.
I will now look at the arrows. My bad.
All right. Here's our trivia for the night. I love this. This actually started on Wednesday. So, how many years has State Street in media hosted Dining Under the Stars?
My fave. Stay with us. How many years has State Street and Media hosted Dining Under the Stars?
There it is.
15 years.
I was surprised by that.
You thought it was older?
No, I thought it was newer.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm also younger, so
right.
I
I definitely thought it was older than that. I feel like it's been going on for a while. It's become such a cool tradition.
Well, it has blown up over the last several years. Like, it's crazy when you go down there. It's really insane.
Anyone else a Mediaite that's like, I was there in the beginning
when there was 3 tables
and before State Street became like walkable, not that it wasn't always walkable, but like there weren't as many restaurants. Like I would go down and have fun with my girlfriends, but it wasn't as crowded. It's so crowded now. I sound so old. I sound so old now.
It's so fun. And it started this past week on Wednesday. So it runs now through September. So we're already planning on getting out there.
We always have
Wednesday
so much
nights. So I'm looking forward to it. 15 years old.
You got to go to a multiple, make reservations for some, but then other times just walk and find a table. It's so fun either way.
I love it. And you can kind of let your kids just run crazy.
Oh, I do.
Which is the nice part.
I depend on others too.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, if you want to talk to us, Delco Duo at phl17.com. We'll take any of your issues, comments, really anything.
Suggestions. We love it.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you guys.
Have a great weekend and go Sixers.
Go Sixers.